Welcome to Two Sides and Vibes, where real men talk real life.
Telling now they be like, we they listen to one of people because they say make we no go break for too long. So as we did, we advise on our body. We they come again. Yes, but Charlie, the response to the last two episodes.
It's been overwhelming.
Crazy. I had someone come to my office yesterday.
Yeah.
He was bringing a proposal. Then after we exchanged pleasantries, everything, he was leaving. He was like, bro, your podcast has really helped me.
Yeah.
And Charlie, he talked that thing. I feel some.
Really.
Well, some we say that he entered the thing. They go. They go. But I think a lot of people send a DM like, I realize I'm not alone.
True.
Right? Because a lot of things make people feel like they're isolated in a problem. So as we can't they talk on a life matter then.
A lot of boys feel
like,
relate.
oh, Charlie. But I see some interesting comment. Some ladies say, when are you guys having we the ladies join the convo? Asking for myself and my gender.
And foul.
No. I'm not even saying no because we don't like women or anything. But I think maybe we could do like an ask a man question, like
Okay,
episodes
Actually,
where
that's
you ladies can put in all your questions and try and
actually
understand.
very solid. I never think about that.
And try and understand what goes through our minds. But in as much as we're trying to create a space for men.
Yeah.
Of course, maybe down the line, we're never saying no, like never, ever, ever. Maybe we might bring one or two people.
Maybe eventually.
A couple of women just come in, especially resource persons.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because
100%.
even in the whole space of mental health and psychology and all that, the counselors and all, it's pretty skewed in terms of gender. There are more women than men in the field, per my research. So you will definitely see some women on our couch, but to open it up, they do girls versus boys. Nah, that's a gender war, bro.
Charlie.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
That episode will be like 4 hours.
I don't think I'm
Your word against mine.
Charlie, who knows?
Very healthy conversation from healthy men. I am a lady, but this conversation brought me calmness and assurance that there are still good men who still want healthy relationships.
That's good. That's great.
Okay.
Some of them too, then they talk around our mind, but we don't see them.
Oh, no. They be part of the... Today, in my opinion, men have been conditioned by societal norms and expectations to believe that showing emotion is a sign of weakness, especially when women are involved. As a result, many of us keep our feelings to ourselves instead of being open and vulnerable. Ironically, we are often at our most honest when we are with our boys. That's when we can talk about our struggles in depth, joke about them, encourage one another, and offer support without fear of being judged or labeled as weak. There's an unspoken understanding that being vulnerable doesn't make you less of a man. It just makes you human. But do our ladies understand this?
No. Where did I go? I saw this TikTok, and I think it was I won't say it was reactionary, but it came around the time we dropped the snippets on TikTok, and the lady was talking. She said quite a number of stuff, which, I mean, I agreed with some and didn't agree with some. But one thing she said was, are women actually ready for emotional men? And, that made me think because I don't think you'd also love to see your man crying every single day or your man complaining and nagging and or if you balance them out.
Once a month.
So once a month. So I think generally I went somewhere and the topic of the podcast came up and the women were saying that they feel like we need to enable more men to save more. And I was telling her that it might be the reverse. You might want to create a good environment.
Exactly.
Just because it's already difficult and it's not second nature to us. So it's easier when around you already move with the mindset that, okay, he's human, he's vulnerable, he might say something, he might do something that bears out his heart. When that opening comes, I'll be there. You know, it's the same way men are now. We're trying to train ourselves to ask ladies, do you need advice or you want me to listen? You know, we've actually seen you guys so when it comes to men, I know it's not clear cut, but eventually it does happen. With comfort, it does happen. Like, the best you can get is a comfortable man. Charlie, the best you can get is a comfortable man. So, Charlie.
But also as a woman, how do you feel when you're... Okay, women know they, but make her ask.
Then maybe we pose it to the camera. People are always in the comments.
As a woman, how do you feel when your man can't trust you with his feelings?
Okay, topic for another day.
Yeah. Because he probably tried to open up once and then you slapped him in his face with his emotions. So then forever he shut it out, right? So you, the woman, how you feel?
I think it still gets stuck with that narrative of conditioning, where you have a lot of people that, have shared, and to some degree, they've seen an effect of it that have not really been positive. So then again, they create these barricades that sort of restrict a lot of them to share. So until we unlearn and learn as men, we are never going to get past that. Sometimes it's easy to just say that, share with me, show me your vulnerability, but are you willing to deal with it? Do you even have that sense of maturity to say the right things at the right time? Because sometimes, even with us, we can joke about the craziest of things, and you don't know why we are joking about it, So there's a sense of maturity, there's a sense of understanding, and there's a sense of learning on learning. So
It's like but I asked you to share your emotions, but not this way. But not this one.
then
This
they
one-
show you what to
Yeah,
make
you for
Charlie.
But there's a chat. There's a chat, and today, as we've gathered, I want us to talk about that, because we all see this a lot, especially on X, when it comes to gender roles, right?
Oh,
I want a traditional man. I want a traditional woman. In the first place, who is a traditional man? Are we not just men and women? Right? Who is a traditional man? I want us to go deep into that, right? And especially as being men, focus on men and the role we have to play in relationships and marriages and everything. And I think the number one thing that is always talked about is provision.
Yeah.
Provision. To the extent that you can see a man who is horrible, treating his kids horribly, treating his wife horribly, but he gets a pass because he provides. He's rich. And you hear women sometimes say, I'd rather cry in a G-Wagon. So as long as money day house, as long as the bills are paid, I live in a 5-star house. If you be horrible, man, if they bring STIs come house, if I don't care, because the bills are being paid, right? At which point do we men understand what provision is, and when we are being looked at as ATM machines? Because then just put money down, you're fine. You can get a pass to do whatever you want. Or is provision part of our God-given purpose in the ecosystem?
Naturally, I know a lot of men are fixers. Naturally, you see a situation you want to solve quickly. That's why one of my friends sometimes says, "No, be every day they need advice." So I just want to listen to you. Like, it's a thing. I think it's very innate. But truth of the matter is that provision is in different facets. We've found a way to reduce it to just physical stuff and monetary. But truth is, emotional provision too is there. Spiritual provision too is there. So that's why you hear this chat quite often. BBB covering. Yeah, there's a covering. The covering over the home. There is a spiritual expectation of you as a man in the home. Then again, you can't deny the place of an emotional man in the home, mainly because you get to appeal to the various people in the house, the various stakeholders you have. You get to feel their hearts. So you are providing a certain layer of love to them that, Charlie, if they go outside to go and look for it elsewhere, it will hurts them. So there's this guy, and one thing he says is that when a dad is not home, you know. And truth, that's actually facts, because we still have a lot of, for example, Father's Day will forever not be popular.
I feel like no matter how much they try,
no matter how much we try, and that's just because
I've come to terms with this.
Yeah, that's just because there's statistics of bad dads supersedes that of great moms, or bad moms. When you look at it, Charlie, the things men they do in search of some of these things, this same provision goes to say somebody left in home how many years? Father.
Father.
Father. It's a lot of things, but I think it's just that fundamental thing of men or of us realizing that provision comes in material, fine. Provision also comes in emotion. Provision also comes in love. Provision also comes in finances. Provision also comes in spirituality. So we can also provide in different facets so that we can be 360 examples, because there are certain traits I know that we pick from our moms. But there are certain traits I know we pick definitely from our dads. And the only way you can pick some of those things is if you are present. So being present is not just in cash. It's not just in kind. You know, one thing, for example, my last brother, Papayao, has been teaching me, and he wouldn't know, so I'm saying this on the podcast because I know he would listen, is the fact that helping out is not enough. Even as much as I would think that, Charlie, I mean, you needed this and I helped you out. You needed this and I helped it. It's not enough. There are times where you want to have a conversation. There are times where you just want to sit and talk. There are times where you just want a quick, Charlie, you dey cool.
Yeah.
There are times where you want a spontaneous call.
Yeah.
But for men, you make long for we. Like, bro, you just, like you did cool. You know, you did cool. But I think just getting past that initial layer of that first conversation, you know, just going deeper, men just learning to chat a bit more, men just learning to talk a bit more, you know, and it just brightens up the home. You realize, like, you wake up in the morning, hey, you did cool, hey, what's up, hey, you know, those little things. So I feel make we learn and it makes us easier to live with, to be fair. It just makes us easier to live with, and everybody would want to be around us. Yeah. So for the men, we get more work to do.
Actually, talking, something crossed my mind. Funny enough, my sister was in Ghana and she left, I think, on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I took her to the airport, everything. So when she checked in, you guys showed me some hack for the emergency exit.
Yeah.
So she sent me a picture of her seat and everything. And I realized I should have shown more excitement. Right? But I just kept my emotions to myself.
Like, I'm sure you replied sharp.
So she said, taking off. I said, okay, safe. I could have said more. I could have hugged her at the airport. I could have. As you they talk way, I just realized that I'll be boxed in. Like, I'll be very, if you cool. Like, okay, safe. What the hell, man? You know, that's my sister that I haven't seen in over a year. She's come to visit and she's leaving. I'm like, okay, safe.
Yeah, I mean, there's I like how you qualified it. There's a place for that too. You know, we say, I'm also realizing that as men, our word is power. Our word holds weight. You know, so you wouldn't want to also. It's like, for example, a man who's constantly apologizing. The day you want to say you're sorry, it doesn't hold water. Exactly. So our words are a bond. True. Like, you know when to do what and how to do what. So, for example, the case Eddie is describing is one where clearly he should have shown more emotion. We're not even saying that baby could be announced. No, there's a place. Exactly. It doesn't work that way because
people will start avoiding you.
Because we're not actually wired that way to also be overbearing with our emotions and to be trauma dumping everywhere. True. But what we are saying is that we need to actually be very strategic with some of these things. I was talking to one of my guys yesterday, and we were talking about trauma. Like, for example, he asked me a question, and I was asking him, okay, pertaining to his background, how does he approach love, right? And he was like, bro, this question be too deep because, you know, his background, and I noticed that he didn't see any semblance of affection there and then. Okay. And I was like, bro, I'm also coming from a similar space where I didn't see my parents lovey-dovey. I just trusted the fact that they loved each other through their actions, right? Okay. But I'm also trying to change it in a sense in my home where you should be able to see me hold my wife's hands or see me say something sweet or, you know, those things. So it doesn't become foreign culture. True. Because now some fianga boy before some Charlie. Oh my God, you're the most beautiful girl in the world. No. But that's just because there's a vacuum in the home, you know, that it needs to be fixed or it needs to be corrected. So we're not saying be overbearing, but spot your opportunities. Just because of the people around you. I do some point to be on cherish.
I think contextually, I mean, to what Eddie asked, when it comes to the conversation of provision, I'd look at it from three angles. There's a historical side, there is a Christian side, and there is a cultural side, right? When we take the historical side, most of the time we look at it as men were providers from the very beginning. It's not entirely true. The only thing is that before, men used to be given a certain sense of visibility when it came to the home economy. So in the house, as a honor knock out, right? So for that reason, it's synonymous to being the breadwinner. The provider is a responsibility. A breadwinner is an arrangement. So we need to come to terms with how we perceive provision. Then again, from a historical standpoint, there were women that were more in the home economy than men, right? All these things changed because of I don't know, say, be familiar with the Industrial Revolution. So before, people had their whole agrarian system where they'd go to the farm with their family. Even women went to the farm, right? So that's like amplified patriarchy. And then we came to a certain place of renaissance, awakening, thinking, learnedness, like the Greek society. And then from there, we migrated to the Industrial Revolution. Now, that's changed the entire spectrum of provision, where the man now went to a factory, a corporation, a company, and he brought home a salary, right? Unlike a situation where they're in the house, farmer, it's not built on an income, on currency. But now when a man goes out and gets into that industry and comes home with currency, it's believed that he can be the breadwinner. And now we are morphing into a certain realm where it's a service industry. And in a service industry, you see women involvement. So it's not like it was when there was an industrial revolution. And then we come to this point where it's like women domination. Those are the gray areas we are getting to. That's why we are having conversations like this, because people clearly don't understand, or people don't want to understand, that when it comes down to provision, it's a psychological thing than it is even physical. It's the way you perceive it. Now, when we come to how God even ordained it from the very beginning as a man, the Bible says in Genesis chapter 2, he said that he gave man a job before he brought a woman. He said, dress it and keep it. So as a man, you need to have something going for yourself. You need to build that value before you roping somebody into your life. Now, then again, the scripture that most of the time people use is God created a woman as a helper, right? Now, the Hebrew word for helper is iya, right? Now, it means that it's the same term that the Bible uses in Psalm 124, where it says that the Lord is the Lord is our helper. The Lord is our helper. Is it the Lord is our helper? The Lord is our helper in his name. So it's not like a moment of subordination. The helper name say, "Oh, Baba Shemase," right? It's a moment of collaboration. It's a moment of necessity. But we perhaps didn't have people that thought this right and made it feel like the woman is a subordinate. No, the woman is not a subordinate. We can come back to another historical event where the Roman system had something they called Petra Familias, right? So a little political science. Yeah. So Petra Familias, it be a system where they made the man the head of the home. So it's a patriarchy, basically. But the man was not the monopoly in economy when it comes to the family system. The women did so much. And we conveyed that same mentality and said that, oh, because it's old or because it's traditional, it's biblical. There's a difference. Right? And then we come to another scripture, Timothy 2. 1 Timothy 2, where it talks about a man must provide for his household or else he's lost his faith. That conversation. Now, the provision that even Paul was talking about in that spectrum was one that involved the family, and yet man alone. The unit, the people, the man, the woman come together in that collaboration to make sure that they are providing. And the very popular Psalm 31, where we see in one women them are bio and sons, right? The woman in there bought a property. You can read Psalm 31. The woman in there is resourceful. She buys a property.
Wait, Proverbs.
Yeah, Proverbs 31. I said Psalms. Proverbs 31.
Proverbs 31 woman.
Proverbs 31 woman. Bro, the woman is industrious. The woman does something for herself. We do like the beautiful things, but we forget that this woman is resourceful. And this is a mother talking to a king. A king is a man of value. So he's talking to a valuable man and saying that if you're going out, look for these traits in a woman. You're not looking for somebody that is not industrious. You're not looking for somebody that is not doing so much for herself. You are looking for somebody that can do so much for the family. The system that was set up when it came to provision was one of family survival. Now we are stuck in a loop where we are looking at the luxury and aesthetic of family than we are looking at the survival. So when there is no survival of the family, luxury is something that is not foundational. So it's fleeting, a bit of them. It's not strong. So we need to come to a point where we clearly know which part of provision we're talking about? Are you going with a woke culture where you are doing 50-50? Are you going with a Christian one where we are doing it's the survival of the family? Because it's not fair to say that somebody that gets 200,000 Ghana cedi in income and maybe a wife that gets 20,000 in income should share the same responsibility in the home. That's the same way as a man. That's the same way if a woman is receiving more. You do everything to maintain the home. It is the home over everything, right? But we flipped it where it's more about the emotion of the relationship than the survival of the relationship or the survival of the family system. We are migrating the same thought processes and we are burdening ourselves so much as men because I forget money, make her talk, say, sit down, she go sit down. But if she has the wisdom, and the Bible says in Proverbs 31, a woman must have that wisdom. So Rebecca say, oh, do this, and she trusts you enough to do whatever it is.
Does it also come down to how we as men lead? Because then,
To some extent, as a man, if you don't get money, you dey feel some way.
naturally, is it because of that God-given thing as Charlie, if money come with the spend on wife, your eyes have they get. Even though the money they go, right? When you're spending on your woman, unless you know like them, you feel this sense of there's this fulfillment that I'm providing for my
I want to
home,
flip
right?
the question. Do you think women feel the same when they do that for you?
Unless she know like you.
Okay.
If you meet woman, she they like you, she go like buy you gifts. She go like
So
yeah.
it's foundational. It's functional. It's something that you feel the woman also feels.
Yeah, but if you don't feel it, then you're in the wrong place.
Okay, cool.
Right. But do you also think provision has been accepted as a social proof of love?
Of course. It's more of like,
If you know they come out money,
yeah, it's more of like show working. You know, it's like, but the same Twitter we did on every day. I see some video about how a woman said, you don't have to tell your man your salary.
I was about to bring that. I saw it.
Yeah.
But
And you know-
disappointments still no disappear.
Yeah, but you see, she's coming from a. I've heard certain older women say, "Oba, they also do CKCA."
You?
Oh, I was say,
Your money is our money. My money is my money.
But sometimes we need to understand that most of those things, too, oftentimes are trauma responses.
Yep.
Because ended up in a very emotionally abusive relationship where the man's ego was tied directly to how much he can bring.
Okay. Yeah.
I think also the concept of provision, we've made a very egoistic one, where every confidence we have is tied directly to what we brought home.
True.
You know, but sometimes too, I think now I'm seeing a certain trend of men who are actually proud of their women for what they're doing.
yeah.
Like, sometimes it can even be as little as me seeing my wife post on LinkedIn. I'm like, hey, you cuckoo.
Progress.
Yeah, like, you cuckoo. Like, you don't know, say you for there. Because I think things are changing from the whole norm of just wanting a ceremonial woman to just understanding that women have so much to offer. You know, women have so much to offer. And then again, to men understanding that it's actually very okay for her to want to bring something home. It's actually very okay for her to want to sort a couple of things. I never would tell you that this bill needs to be paid. That's me. And I know all men watching this podcast, you never go to not go tell your man, say, Charlie, for pay rent.
1 out of 10.
You know, go get them. You know. So maybe where we are coming from is we are naturally wired to provide. We are naturally wired to fix. We are naturally wired to sort things out. But it's not our sole responsibility too. Because blood pressure no honey fever. Stress no honey fever. So I might not say it, which might be, hey, that's what we're trying to change, but I don't think it will change anytime soon. Because when it comes to big picture things, you know, be every man we want to pay him off talk, say, hey, I need financial help. No. We might not say it, but it takes a certain layer of initiative to say, yeah, it's hey. Aduane ni fie.
Make we all talk.
Yes.
True. This same thing we talk about this. I went to traditional. I saw a woman quote the thing and said, but if your house is dirty, you don't go clean them.
You are you see the video?
Yeah.
You see the video?
I mean, I'm like,
like you did
so where I'm coming from is where I'm coming from is we've moved past the Old Testament times where only men were counted.
True.
to now, I say this controversial thing sometimes, and I go like, even the concept of gender equality sometimes is skewed for me because I feel like women are more powerful than men are.
Charlie?
The way women can balance things and the way women go through their periods and they are cramping and they still have to show up smiling and postpartum and they have all these things, but women still wield a certain deceptive power and a certain coercive power that a man can't. Like even in a boardroom,
a million light years.
yeah, even in a boardroom, all the women I know that have high seats are there for a reason.
Of course.
Just because when a woman sets her mind to do something, the way she go do them, the pragmatism with which women work, we like logic. Why A no be B and B no be C, but women if you understand why A plus B go be C, then plan B. Hey, baby, our plan B. That'd be crazy. Like so, when you think about this, why wouldn't you rather partner and make it happen?
Yeah.
So, for example, nobody, and another thing too is that we're now living in a very percentage-based relationship structure. So,
70-30.
70-30, 110, 105. No. Those things don't exist.
100.
Juma or why,
Yeah.
if there's something to do, we'll do it. Like
100.
you need to also build a certain space where now you know categorically say this is what we need. Like there are times where I've been home and Mikofi groceries were already bought. Like man can A, man can B, but the certain initiative was taken because I was CADD.
True.
Of course.
There are times I've gotten home and the Wi-Fi has been paid. Why? It was finished. Someone had to pay for it, and this is what we had. You know, when we also remove that layer, and also as men too, when we learn to ask for help when we are trusting enough, it also makes them a bit more accommodating to come and say, okay, Charlie, today, dear, you go help me with this. I mean, I handle it every time, but today I need help with this. Maybe next time, because there are downsides. There are so many downsides. Like I'm sitting there one time, she goes like, "Can I pay for fuel today?" Oh, I fought it. Only for us to get to the filling station. Then she said, "Please, I'm paying, right? Use my number." You know, those things. Good women, most women want to do it. Can we also learn to give them the avenue too? Where we are saying that our rent for the year, if give or take, I mean, he's a real estate mogul. If we're doing like $100,000 a month, I don't know if we tell you they can pay 100K.
Yeah.
But this is the rent, and you are aware just because there's financial transparency in the home. So we're also forgetting that some of these insecurities come up because OBDBBCA.
True.
OBDBBCA.
What you hide is what germinates. Bro.
Thank you. OBDBBCA. Like, how much do you earn? Where's the money coming from?
Why can't your partner know how much you earn? Like, what
so most of these things
it stems from what he said about the trauma.
No, it's all trauma responses. How many old school men do we know used to tell their wives how much they were earning? And no one said
they were just sorting things out.
Yeah, no one said that. And how many women?
I really struggle to
realistically
understand that. Like, why can't, bro? You sleep on the same bed.
Yeah.
Under marriage, you have sex. You eat. So they draw the line for your bank balance. Like that way they draw the line.
I mean, it be based off the kind of experiences a lot of people have had and how they also migrate.
I just really struggle.
It's a sense
to
of projection. Like somebody is probably projecting what they've experienced and they've made it a norm. So most men.
But your husband didn't do that. So at which point do we unlearn? Okay, well,
I went to the gym. This was like 3 days ago. We were having a similar conversation. Where you be like, hey, now I'm sure they are odo. I'm like, yeah. I say, odo be brave, better wakuma. And I'm like,
right now, boys just
how are you having this mentality because somebody decides to love? Or how are you having this mentality because somebody chooses to provide? Right? So there are a lot of things that we must filter out. You know, and I like the fact that Thousand talked about the trauma bit of it, because you see most of these people on social media say so much about provision and marriage, and a man must. Make I tell you a funny story. One of my guys, where he say, oh, then some girl be start the talk, where he bets the girl say, oh, like, you know, in a relationship, what do you expect of a man? The girl say every week, make you pay him 2K. When my guy say, okay, no, 2K every week, make the girl give him 2,000 Ghana cedi.
Make the guy give the girl.
Make my guy give him 2,000 Ghana cedi every month.
For what exactly?
So my guy asked her, okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. What do you bring to the table? My presence.
Moving on.
So I'm like, it be transaction you they do, or what exactly? Your presence there
There's
and
so
anything.
many of them who feel like, controversially, you would come across women who just feel like being in your life alone is enough for you to die for her.
You know, the actual truth is,
You'd be surprised.
You know the
I
truth
saw a
is-
video like that yesterday.
no,
I don't know
but,
if you
but to
mentioned
be
names,
fair,
but
that's true.
to some
Think about
extent.
it.
To some extent. But which
One
one
of
does
the
it
best
become
gifts
toxic?
you can never get is a good woman.
Of course.
Not even gifts.
You
One of the
qualified
best.
it, too. You
Yeah,
qualified it,
one
too.
of the best. Oh, of course, I know what I'm saying. That's why. Yeah, good one.
You
One of the
qualified
best
it.
blessings.
And it makes sense.
Thank you. One of the best
Yeah.
blessings as a man you can get is a great woman. You know, but
Best ever gift.
Virtuous woman.
God bless you. So you not go feel assume.
Yeah.
Say because you did. Are they cool? No. You for sure working too sometimes.
Exactly.
You understand? And me, I don't know about other men. My goal is to retire my wife very early. My goal is to retire my mom very early.
Yeah.
Just because I see the kind of industry they bring to the table. I see the kind of hearts they have. I see. And I think it just makes every man happy knowing that, Charlie, the women for them alive, they cool. Like,
Soft.
with the rest, with
If
the
you actually
calm.
have the power to provide, bro, it'd be soft.
So unfortunately, there's been that. You see, to every coin, there's a flip side. There's that flip side of it where it's been negated so bad so that or your housewife.
Yeah.
We are not coming from that housewife perspective. Say they are not shentumago, no pepa, no clean.
Isn't it just for them to
No.
get control over the woman? Because then, if,
so that's
if you're
what I'm
not
saying.
working and I'm the one providing, I
Yeah.
could talk to sit down,
Sit
kneel
down,
down,
do this.
because at that point you don't
Obedience.
even have the power to
Yeah.
make decisions.
So we
for
didn't.
yourself.
I mean, I don't know about other people, but me, from all the examples I have in my life in the council side, I didn't marry into slavery. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm marrying you to be
Yeah.
to make you a slave.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh yeah. Even yesterday, I was asking like, what business ideas are you thinking around? Like, and then what dream? You know, what are you working on recently? You know, that kind of thing. Because the times have changed, bro. The times have actually
still
changed.
changed.
It's
Really
changed.
changed, yeah.
It's,
It's still
it's
changing.
drastically
Yeah.
moving,
Yeah.
and we're getting into spaces where are you even going to get comfortable with the fact that your woman is even earning more than you? Because where we are now, women deserve a seat
Yeah.
at the table.
You
Yeah.
would say
Yeah.
you go there because that was going to be my next question.
Right.
That
I know,
would you be comfortable
Oh.
that your woman was bringing 500K and you were bringing 150? as a
Charlie,
man?
That's fine.
The house
Like,
boy,
But it depends. I love
stress
this.
me
It
too much,
depends
oh,
on
bro.
the woman you are with because you trust that she's not
Yes.
going to overrule you. Because
It's not
she
even
earns
just
more.
the woman. The family of the woman
Yeah.
is even a factor.
You get because what in mommy too they tell them for back.
Yeah, so if I marry well, if I find
Yeah.
good people,
Get-
because me, mind you, me, I don't lie you.
Or that's the family.
I don't go lie. If my woman they earn more than me, my just go get rough. Like, and you know why I say this? Because I've seen examples of that.
Yeah.
I see women who are board chairs and stuff like that, and their husbands are equally doing something.
Yeah,
So where
yeah,
it gets
yeah.
dicey is what are you also doing and working on?
Yeah.
What is your purpose for that time, so that it doesn't become a my wife this, my wife this, my wife this, my wife this. Like we're saying here, and I heard an example of a man who just started spiting his wife just because she's rising. Like she's rising. Oh, it was even my dad that was telling me. It was like a conversation they were having amongst their friends, and they had to just go to the guy's house to advise him. Said, Charlie, we're down. We're like, she's doing amazing. Why don't you rather support as best as you can, because it's a mumienu. So what I say, mumienu, and I'm thinking, when that rise is coming up, they're not just rising on their accord, like it's just their thing, but they're doing it because this is best for the family.
Yeah.
So what I say, I think it just comes from the fact that we also as men have to find what we're good at and what we're doing. It's just that sense of being idle and not being able to provide and not being able to help out. You know? The way we handle it emotionally is to look down on ourselves, because a lot of the provision is very egoistic.
True.
You know, like coming home, I won't lie to you, the ability to, we need this in the house. I'm like, okay, sure, I've
Sorted.
sent you money. It makes me feel good about myself. It really does make me feel good about myself. So on the flip side, if, the case comes and by God's grace, she's earning more than I am earning, that's pure happiness for me, mainly because now I go feel work on other things while I support her, do what she's doing. Nonetheless, do we have that fundamental mutual respect in the home? That's where it gets dicey. I don't know it's true. Because now when money comes into the picture, now it becomes all about the money. Now, I'm bringing the money home. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's not, kasa anyhow. That kind of thing. But we also forget that it's two ways. because you also earn a lot, you can't also just treat her anyhow. So what's the picture? No? So I think we need to tackle some of these things on a case-by-case basis. We need to also make we need to lay the ground rules. And lay the ground rules right enough that
Stefan,
Gordon just walked into the...
we are happy to introduce you, Father. Father, this is the first time we record where we get superstar in the walk. They walk in on set. What are your mic? Father.
On today's episode
but you get the angle I'm coming from. I just feel like I also don't want... So it means that there needs to be a renewal of mind on both sides. So women understanding clearly that, okay, you are actually allowed to dream and you will be supported. Let's enable them, because we are going to give birth. When we give birth, we may have women, we may raise women, and the least you'd want to do is make them dependent on a man. There's a certain level of industry. Proverbs 31, we're talking about it again. If you are within my community, I want you to feel like that. Like, there's a certain pride when you see whoever you are with working on something. And women have that. They have the grace to multiply. So why don't we rather play that to our advantage and the advantage of the home? Until you realize that they always say that if the home wants to prosper, give it to the woman. And they're not saying that because on proper no you, but even to the point where they are blasting you on where to put your slippers. I say, okay, maybe they make it here. I don't even want stress.
If you choose your battles,
because so there's a place for women realistically in all this, and women are not just a statistic. Same for the men, Charlie. As we grow, as we go, times are changing. Opportunities will come for wife, opportunities will come for your woman. How you go approach them, insecurities. Make we just defame, because whatever we work on, they be ever fat.
True.
Into you go so say ho we they come, but when you understand it to be a partnership, it's easier. Say be pressure of course, definitely. We'll do more. That's just how we're wired. We'll do more. Most of us are not even working 9 to 5. We're working 24 hours. They be working on baby.
Daddy.
All we need is one breakthrough. I was watching a video and the guy was saying that I saw that video. Like I said, 500,000. And he's so real. He's so real. But this is how men like. Charlie, when we two go drive the Benz home, when we two we go buy the house for here, when
we go reach there, aspirational.
We go reach. So as we they grow, we they go. Make we just take them one day at a time, then just see where we go. Because we are just one open door away. We are just one destiny helper away. So
somebody just mention your name for one meeting inside.
That's all.
That's it. So we are mostly worried about the wrong things.
I've lived that life too many times.
We are worried about the wrong things.
It just takes one person.
We are so worried about it because
I've seen that in my life. A few times I've seen somebody say,
Just one phone call, one text.
Antoine Mensa, I always give him that. Antoine, my first time Frank Jima my first time on radio, doing Sunny FM. First time ever.
Nice.
And, this is my guy from church, we're all hustling. I don't know how he went to mention my name. I didn't even know that he had access to people like that. He was working with Rudy Kwache. So, Charlie, I just got
Rave.
Rudy.
Yeah. And that's how I ended up on Sunny FM doing the Christian Entertainment Review show. And then from there,
it kept going,
My DGN breakthrough is so weird. See how it happened, I hustle. And I think 2018, 2017, I hustle. I just did walk roadside. Wait, I know Antoine from, back then, big guy. Wait, he just stopped by the road. He just said, yo, Gordon, what's up? Everything cool? I said, everything cool. Where did you go? I said, Charlie, let's go buy something for the junction. You go, Gordon. You get to your job, you go do.
That be all.
Just like that. Wow.
Bro. And it's like, there's this new station, DGN. They're looking for presenters. They've been auditioning for a while now, but they're not finding anybody. Would you like to? I said, when? I sit for Nkai inside
Where you guys go?
Just went
God is good.
They are audition. They are not. I get that thing.
Charlie.
Looking for someone.
Yeah.
So the fact that Charlie, it's just
we're worried about the wrong things. So we're worried about.
Do you think the concept? I'll throw this to you, Godwin. Do you think the concept of partnership in a home, as men, right? Because women know I don't want to make we speak for them, but as men, do you think we are instilling because we are Christians? So I want to believe that we all understand that we are in quote team leads, right? And I'm not even going to say this in a safe way. We are team leads. you're supposed to lead your woman. You're supposed to, we see and hear this thing a lot, that your woman is a reflection of you, your leadership. Spiritually, emotionally, whatever you put for ground, she go mirror arm for you. If you bring ingredients, she go give you cho. Right? If you rent nice apartment, she will do the decor for you solid. You get, so whatever you give to your woman, be what she will mirror. But the concept of partnership, have we instilled it a lot into our women for them to understand that I am in this together with this man? It's not him against me, it's us against the world, right? Where if they earn more than you, she's not seeing you any less of a man because you've got things going for you. Even if you don't have something, you might have lost your job. Just when she got her promotion, does she still see you as her life partner?
I mean, this is a very good question. And I don't know whether the instilling you're talking about will be done by us, the partners, or their fathers. I think it starts from...
That was going to be my next question. So I don't know if Mika Adam, because there are parents who have raised their kids that the boys do the heavy lifting for the house. Mm-hmm. The girls cook, sleep. There's this... The boys will provide. The girls should sit and be provided for. Mm-hmm. There are some parents who have done that.
See, Eddie, I am of the belief that I don't care what anybody else says. It's how I grew up. Mm-hmm. And I actually believe in that mentality. Someone said, was it a pastor I was listening to? He said, the father actually deeply means creator, provider, protector. That's what father is. That's what man is. Mm-hmm. So whether we like it or not, a man is a provider. He's a protector. And he's a creator. You know what I mean? So how we were raised, it's not really wrong, especially if you want to relate it to the Bible. It's really not that bad that a man is raised to provide, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, whether it's psychological. It's heavy, it's tough, but it is what it is. And we have to be able to provide. I am so much of that concept. I don't care about this new age belief of, a man shouldn't. We are supposed to provide, all right? Now, when it comes to...
What happens when you can't?
That's a good question.
What happens? Because then
tough.
if we're living with that, it's a good thing. It's a good foundation to a large extent. Because you provide. That be the truth. At which point does it become overburdening? What's the point of partnership then?
No, partnership is essential.
What if you can't provide
for 6 months? Provide, we're not saying that you are the one providing. It is all the time. Hey, senior, you go fake. I think that's why God gave. Look at the assignment God gave Adam. It's huge. And when he realized that, Charlie, let me give him a helpmeet, right? And so that's where the woman comes in. If at the core of you, you know that I am the provider, but then you have a partner who is there to support you, and a partner who is willing to also really support.
Willing to, okay.
Then, I keep saying I'm blessed. I don't like to talk about my personal stuff, on the podcast. But
Father,
I'm super blessed. I don't know how I can say. Last time he was telling us about when they went to London and went to do the shopping. See, partnership is key. Yeah. And unfortunately, the way there's a downside to that providing mentality too for us, man. For some people, we get stuck in that place where, it's me. So...
I'll just give an example. Why you won't pay for fuel, no allowance.
Bro, and what your personality too is like,
it's because it's tied to your value. Like your provision is tied to your value.
Is that a good thing?
It's a bad thing.
Tied to our value.
It's bad.
It's because sometimes you don't know if you open up.
It's bad.
Bro.
It means when the dollar shifts to shift. It means we're cheaper than we know. I know. Like I hate that we go through those motions just because. Like, what do you mean by if I don't get money, then I just cast? And it's valid.
It's valid.
Like last week, then I did now.
You make some way.
Some way.
If you make money.
Yeah. I just don't get money.
It's allowed, Charlie.
No, it's allowed.
It's allowed. I get it. But
Charlie,
should that be so? I think, does it also really put some sort of responsibility on our women?
It does.
To make us feel like it's okay.
Yes.
How would they know you're okay when you're not communicating it?
I'm done.